Miss Carrie here with Miss Carrie's Creations, and today we have another creative design team video collab for you. Today we're going to show you some creative ways to use flip-flaps. I want to primarily focus on using flip-flaps today, so I have already started this layout. I've taken some of my blue skies paper and I have already put together quite a few of the elements on this page. I also have all of my photos ready to go inside the flip-flaps, along with a couple of extra photos that I'm going to add onto this layout. Before we continue, I do want to remind you to subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe, you will be notified when our creative design team adds new videos. So I'm sure you are wondering what a flip-flap is. This is an adhesive pocket that you can use for your photos, for your journaling, or for memorabilia. The sizes range from 2-inch all the way up to 12-inch. Here is one of the 4-inch flip-flaps I plan on using on this layout. You can see there's an adhesive strip across the top and there's a pocket that I'm going to be placing my photos in. I'm going to be using 2 of these 4-inch flip-flaps over here on the right page. I'm also going to be using a 12-inch flip-flap on the left. And I'm going to be showing you 2 ways to adhere these flip-flaps onto your layout. When you're placing the photos inside these flip-flaps, you do need to pay attention to the adhesive strip. As it folds and tucks under, you're going to want to make sure that adhesive is down onto your page or onto your memory protector. Right now I'm placing my photos into 2 of these flip-flaps so I can create what looks like a little gate or door here on the left page. Using flip-flaps allows for more journaling and photos. On this layout, I have a lot of pictures of my children playing in the park, and I didn't want the layout to feel cluttered. This is where flip-flaps come in handy. I can add photos on the front of the flip-flap, photos on the back of the flip-flap, and photos underneath. When designing with flip-flaps, you want to make sure that the photos below match the photos in the flip-flaps. Here I've cut a piece of red cardstock to match the mats in the flip-flap photos. That way when it's opened, it looks like a continuous photo frame. I've grabbed my Summer Vibes PML cards to add something to the right side of that photo. Now the nice thing about these PML cards, they also fit inside our flip-flaps. So not only do I use them to decorate my layouts, I can also use them inside those flip-flaps for journaling and decoration. I chose to use this 6-inch PML card with sunglasses, and I trimmed it down so that it fit on the right side of the photo. And then I grabbed a couple of stickers from my Blue Skies and Summer Vibes sticker sheets, and I'm just going to embellish this photo. Now I can adhere it down onto the page, and the photos underneath these flip-flaps are complete. At this point, some people will adhere their flip-flaps to the page. They'll remove that adhesive strip and tuck it underneath the photo. I plan on placing them on top of the memory protectors, but I am going to show you both ways later on in the video. Now we're going to move to the left side of the layout. I have this title from this Blue Skies sticker sheet, and I've removed the stickiness using my anti-static bag so that I can move it around on the page. I plan on part of it going on the flip-flap portion and part of it going on the layout. So I do need to play with this a little bit before I adhere it down onto the page. As you can see, this flip-flap is 6 by 12, but my paper is much smaller, so there's a large gutter here over on the left. I'm going to show you how to take this 6 by 12 flip-flap and make it a little bit smaller for those narrow page additions. I'm going to place the flip-flap with the page inside onto my paper cutter. You could also do this with a scoreboard. I'm going to take a bone folder and I'm going to deeply score right along the page here. Now I'm going to cut through only one layer of this pocket, and it's just going to be on this back side. I apologize that I go off screen here for a little bit. I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to trim along the top and the bottom on the back layer of this flip-flap, and I'm going to trim up the score line. This will allow me to still have a pocket where I can remove my page in and out of the flip-flap. To remove that excess gutter we have there on the side, we're going to be folding the flip-flap over on itself. So I'm going to remove that adhesive backing and I'm going to fold over this flip-flap. This is going to change how we adhere the flip flap to the layout, and like I said, I am going to show you how to do that later on in the video. But now I have a narrow flip flap to match the design of my page. The back of this flip flap is going to be for journaling and additional photos. So I have cut a piece of white daisy cardstock, I've added some blue skies paper, and I'm adding some stickers and a camera that I cut out from one of the PML cards. The stories behind my photos are often very personal to me, so I rarely show them in these videos, but like I said, there will be journaling on this side of the page later on. This journaling piece is going to get tucked on the back side of the pocket and placed here over on the left. Now I'm going to create the portion of the page that will hold the photos. Remember how I said this needs to match what you place in the flip flap. So when the flip flap is opened, it looks like a continuous part of the layout. Here, I've mirrored that journaling page with the white daisy cardstock and blue skies paper. I've also matted the photos in red so they match the layout on the right side. And I'm just decorating the page with some stickers and tags that I have left over from my scrap bin. When this flip flap is opened, you're going to be able to see all of the journaling over here and all of the additional photos that I've added to the layout. Now that all the bones of this layout are complete, I'm going to start embellishing it with some stickers from Summer Vibes and Blue Skies. These go well together with all of their bright colors. I'm also adding a couple of different tags and some cutouts from PML cards. Once I had decided where everything was going to go, I removed that one page from the pocket, grabbed my 3D foam tape, and started placing all of these elements down onto both of the pages. On each of the tags, I added a little bit of white thread, which I frayed using the tip of my scissors. I also embellished the page with a couple of yellow dots that I had in my stash. I also forgot to tell you that the "in the" was created using my label maker. Now I'm going to show you how to adhere these flip flaps to your layout. This one here on the left is normally 6 by 12, and you would just tuck it under the page on the far left side. But since we narrowed it, we're going to have to make some adjustments. I've started out by placing adhesive onto the strip, and then I'm going to cut some angle cuts about 1 inch up from the top and 1 inch down from the bottom. This is going to help me when I go to tuck this under the partial page that will go on my layout. Remember how I told you that some people will take those 4x4 flip flaps and they will stick them down onto the page prior to putting them in the memory protector? Well, when you do that, you do need to cut slits in the memory protector, and that's what we're doing here. The first thing I'm doing is measuring the side of my layout so I know how far to go over. I've placed a piece of cardboard in the memory protector so that I don't cut through both layers. And then I'm using a straight edge ruler with my Cricut craft knife to cut a slit in the memory protector. I'm not going to cut all the way from top to bottom. I'm going to start about 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom and create a 10-inch cut. That is why I cut those angled cuts into the flip flap. That flip flap is 12 inches long, and I didn't want to cut a 12-inch slit, so I cut those angled cuts so that it would fit inside this 10-inch slit. And as you can see, I only went through one layer, and I have a nice little part for my flip flap to slide into. Now, it's much easier to see this in person. The flip flap will slide right into that slit that I cut. And as I said, there are a lot of people who will take those smaller flip flaps and adhere them down onto their page first, and then they will cut slits into their memory protectors so that the adhesive part of the flip flap is hidden inside the page. And that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to slide the page into my memory protector, and then I'm going to slide that flip flap in through the slit, tucking the adhesive down underneath this piece of cardstock so that that hinge is hidden. Now when this narrower flip flap is open and closed, you're going to be able to see the additional photos and the journaling. Like I said, this is how some people adhere all of their flip flaps. Now let me show you a second way to adhere flip flaps down onto your page. This time I'm going to adhere them directly to the memory protector. So I need to slide my page inside that memory protector so I'm able to line up these flip flaps. I'm going to remove that adhesive backing strip, I'm going to line up each one of these flip flaps with the photo underneath, and then I'm going to stick them down directly to the memory protector. There are some people who say they can notice that adhesive strip and they might cover it with a decorative piece of paper. I've never been able to see that bit of adhesive, so this method is the one that I use most often. When I have doors like this, I always like to create a fun little tab or pull string that someone can use to open them. Here I have 2 matching heart stickers. I'm going to stick one on the front and one on the back to create a cute little tab that I'm going to decorate with a wooden button. If you want to make sure that your doors stay shut, you can grab some hook and loop tabs and stick it right behind this little sticker, and it will keep those doors closed. And now we're all finished with this summer layout. How cute is this? We were able to add tons of photos and a lot of room for journaling on this flip flap that we made a little bit smaller than its original size. By making it less cluttered, I had lots of room for a big, bold title, room for all kinds of fun embellishments, and I may end up adding some more down here below this photo. I also have extra photos over here on the right. So I was able to add all kinds of fun embellishments, all kinds of photos, and plenty of room for journaling by using those flip flaps. I hope that today's project inspired you, gave you a few new ideas, and taught you how to use these flip flaps in a few new creative ways. To learn some more creative uses for flip flaps, I want you to head on over to Jama's YouTube channel. Her link can be found in the description below, along with a list of all of the products that I used on my summer scrapbook layout. New projects are added every week to my blog and YouTube channel. If you enjoyed today's project and wish to see more in the future, make sure to click that subscribe button and notification icon so you are notified when new videos are added. If you wish to see more projects like this one, you can click on the collection icon above. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.